Hello, I'm Susie Hesser, Superintendent of the Hoopeston Area School District. Today I would like to talk with you about what our school district is doing to help every child succeed. When you think of a school or a classroom, you may think of academic learning, such as reading, writing, and math. But our work with the children in our district goes much further than that, because we want to do our best so that students are each ready for further schooling, for a career, and for life when they graduate. In fact, our district vision is that all students at Hoopeston area are happy, lifelong learners prepared for the futures they choose. Along this very important path to graduation, we work with families by teaching all students important skills they need for positive social interactions and emotional health and well-being. Sometimes we find that students and families ask for extra help in this area. We all have rough times, and having a school district that supports students and families in those difficult times is something that is very important to both the school and the community we serve. If you or someone in your family is experiencing one of those tough times where you need extra help or someone to talk with, please know that you're not alone. In fact, in a 2016 survey that was given at Hoopeston area and across the state of Illinois, 35% of the students in our high school reported that they were experiencing depression. That's just about 1 in every 3 students. A very scary statistic is that 16% of our high school students marked that they had even considered suicide, and 1 in every 5 had reported cutting or harming themselves on purpose in the past 12 months. Knowing this information, we have been working to add help for our students while they are at school. So last year, our first step was that every staff member at Hoopeston area, teachers, custodians, administrators, cafeteria staff, bus drivers, everyone had youth mental health first aid training. This was an entire day devoted to learning about common mental health challenges such as anxiety, depression, substance use, disruptive behavior, and eating disorders. Just as you may have had a first aid class to help you prepare to respond to a physical need, such as a bad cut or a bump to the head, we learned through this mental health first aid training how we can best respond to young people in both crisis and non-crisis situations. This doesn't mean that we are qualified to be the doctors or counselors. What it does mean is that we are better prepared to recognize and respond to the signs of a student who may need extra help. Mrs. Boyer, the teacher of our new freshman success class at the high school, was certified to continue training our staff in youth mental health first aid in the future. We did this so that any new staff members joining the district and interested community members will have the common training. This also gives us the opportunity to hold refreshers so that we are continually reminded of the important information we learned. Through a special grant, we were also able to add an additional social worker to our district staff. In doing this, we arranged for each school to now have 1 full-time dedicated social worker. Social workers help students, parents, and staff members work together to help students with social, emotional, or behavioral challenges they are experiencing. If you're worried about your child for any reason, grades, behaviors, getting along with others, depression, making friends, behaving in class, I encourage you to talk with the teacher, the principal, and the social worker at your child's school. We're here to help. Hoopeston Area School District also added an on-site mental health clinic at the middle school for middle school and high school students last spring. This came about through a partnership with Crosspoint in Danville. With an on-site mental health clinic, students and families are able to attend counseling sessions at school instead of needing to drive to another location. Our hope is that by making these services convenient, more students will receive help if they need it. By the end of this year, we will have the same partnership in place with Carl Clinic. A licensed clinical social worker through Carl will be available for free counseling Monday through Friday in a special office at the middle school, and at that time, Crosspoint will move their office to serve K through 5 students at Maple and John Grier. If your child needs help, we are here for you. At Hoopeston Area, our staff is working together to learn about childhood mental health and also childhood trauma. Our goal is to be trauma informed, meaning that we are educated in how to best support our students who have experienced trauma. We're educators and not specialists in this area. However, we do feel a responsibility to use what experts tell us are effective ways to reach and teach our students. Although this topic can be complex, we can think simply of trauma as an overwhelming or especially stressful experience. This could mean events such as a divorce, a death in the family, lack of adequate food, witnessing violence, experiencing abuse, or living with a family member who is mentally ill. It's not really the exact event, but the response we have to that event that might be described as trauma. Everyone responds differently to trauma. Something that may cause me a great deal of stress may be an easier experience for you. We have learned that the national average is that approximately 1/2 of the population has experienced trauma in their lives. That's half of our community and half of our students. We have learned that trauma affects long-term health, even influencing how long a person lives. We've learned that trauma stresses the brain. That makes it harder for students to learn, have positive relationships, and behave. But most importantly, we have learned that strong, positive adult relationships are what research says can best help a student who is experiencing the effects of trauma. With that in mind, we have recently established a mentoring program and are recruiting community members who are interested in being mentors to students in our school district. Mentors meet once a week at school with a student who would benefit from an additional positive adult relationship in their life. If your child has experienced trauma or is having a difficult time, we invite you to contact your school office to discuss our mentoring program, as well as the other supports that we have in place. Our school district is wholly committed to the well-being of our students and staff. Another significant way we're expanding upon that commitment is through the Happiness Advantage Orange Frog Workshop. Our curriculum director was certified last year as a trainer in the Happiness Advantage through a grant that we're excited to have. We are one of just a few school districts in the nation who have had the opportunity to be trained alongside companies such as Disney and Google in how to spread happiness through positive mindsets and habits. Nearly every staff member in our district attended this special workshop, and we have started scheduling time for community members to also join the Orange Wave moving through our district and community. The workshop is unique in that participants learn about the latest research in positive psychology and how we can each establish routines that will promote health and happiness in our lives. Participants learn about how habits such as 10 minutes of daily physical movement, daily expressions of gratitude, or short, regular times of quiet meditation are beneficial to emotional health. Often, happiness is thought of as a feeling that we will obtain after we have achieved something. We might think in our minds that we will be happy only if we get a certain job or meet a certain person. But Sean Acor, the author of the workshop and book by the same name, explains that happiness is a choice that is made in the journey, and happiness is an advantage in being able to meet our goals, not the result of meeting our goals. We're very excited at Hoopeston Area to be proactive in helping our students, staff, and community work to establish and maintain positive mental health and well-being through this special approach. We're spreading both support and happiness throughout our school and community. I hope the information I shared today explains the important transformation we are undergoing at Hoopeston Area as we work together to implement unique systems that support the social, emotional, and mental well-being of both students and staff. At Hoopeston Area, we are student-centered and relationship-focused with a motto of always learning and always growing. We will continue to learn and continue to work together to meet the needs of our students and our community. Thank you.